Hey, welcome to my channel. I was looking, I'm a little pink cheeked because I've been in there cooking and I had to actually turn my fan on. It's not hot outside. It's very nice out here. So that's why I thought, well, I'd come out here and do my intro out in the good weather. It may turn hot, I don't know, but for right now it feels pretty good. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You are here for meal prep. This week I had one new recipe and one oldie but goodie, which I've only made one time, but still, that's what I consider it because it's really good. For breakfast, I made a low-carb sausage gravy bowl. Now, when I created these sausage gravy bowls, I was on Weight Watchers, and I know that was pre-COVID. They've been around a while, but when I made them on top of hash browns, and since I'm doing low-carb, I'm not going to have the hash browns. So I thought, well, I can just put it over scrambled eggs, and that's what I did. So that's the new recipe, the gravy, and it's good. I tasted it. It's really good. I may serve it with a side of some of the Birch Benders keto, like little dash waffles. I've kind of been wanting a pancake or a waffle, so I may do that. I may not. Depends on how I feel in the morning. And then I may add a side of 90-second bread, and I think I'll do a real quick standalone video. So if you're doing low carb, you can see that now there's several different recipes that you can make. This is just one that I made when I was on keto the very first time, and it's just a little quick little 90-second bread, just like it said. So anyway, that'll be that. And then for lunch, I'm making the Whopper salad. It is something I came up with when I thought, well, I didn't want to do the Big Mac salad, and I really like Whoppers, so let me see what I can do. So it has all the components of a Whopper, and when you put it all together, it tastes like a Whopper in a bowl. I kid you not. That's why I'm making it again, because I really, really liked it the first time. I'll have to figure out the carbs, because when I made it the first time, I was still doing Weight Watchers. I was not doing low carb, and so it had croutons that go with it, sesame seeded croutons. If you're not on low carb, do not skip the croutons. Go to my website, look at the recipe, see how I made them, or look at the video. It's linked. All the videos I do are linked on the recipe on my website. But don't skimp on the croutons. They make it. I will miss them, but I don't have any low carb bread to do anything with, so I'm just going to leave those out. It'll be fine, because if I were to go get a Whopper right now, I would peel the bun off anyway. So that's how we had our burgers last night. We grilled hot dogs and hamburgers, and we just ate them just open, not even open face, because we didn't have nothing on the bottom. We ate them naked, no buns. And you know what? We said we didn't even miss it. We didn't even miss it. So anyway, that is what we're, and I have not made it yet. I'll get to that later on today. I'm not going to film it because it's Roy's light pumpkin pie from Recipes with Roy. I've made it before, and it's delicious. The problem with it, if I could name one problem, is trying not to eat the whole blasted thing. It is perfect for my low carb. Even though there's carbs in pumpkin, there's no crust on this pie. And I think if you're doing Weight Watchers, the whole pie is 0 points. You can't beat that with a stick. So I'm going to leave that, because Roy, he'll do a video on that soon, I'm sure, since we are barreling into pumpkin season. So anyway, that is it, and let's just turn around and get started. How about that? To start our low-carb sausage gravy bowls, we want to scramble our eggs. I just melted a couple tablespoons of butter, added a little bit of milk and some salt and pepper to 12 eggs, and we just want to scramble these soft set because they're going to be reheated in the microwave, and we don't want to get them tough. Then all we have to do is divide them into 6 of our serving containers. For the gravy, I'm starting with just a little bit of oil in the pan, and I'm using Niece's, of course, which is my favorite, breakfast sausage. It's a pound. Use whatever your favorite is. And we're just going to fry it into small crumbles. So just chop it as you go until it gets to the size crumble that you like. Now we want to drain it. You can drain it however you want to do it, but I'm just putting it on this paper towel lined bowl. And when I put it back in the pan, you'll see just how much grease came off of this. I think it's easier this way than to try to get it up with the turkey baster. See all that grease? Yeah. So to this, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Xanthan gum. I never say that right. And we want to stir it in. We don't want to leave it sitting there, let a big clump happen or anything like that. So stir it in really good, like if you were mixing in some flour on it or something like that. And then the next thing, it calls for, I think, a tablespoon of fresh sage, which I didn't have, and I wasn't going to buy just for that little bit. And I didn't have dried sage, but I had ground sage. So I'm using a half a teaspoon. I didn't even look up to see how much I should use. That just sounded like it should work. And it did. So mix that in. The next thing we're going to add is some chicken broth, a cup. I didn't want to open a can for just a cup of chicken broth, so I'm using chicken bouillon that I reconstituted. It's 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder to a cup of hot water. You can see it almost dissolved. And I think having added this at the end when we add the salt, I may have left the salt out because I think this added enough to it actually. Now we've thickened this down. We're at a simmer. We just had it in a simmer until it looks like a gravy consistency. And we're going to add 2 cups of heavy cream. We're going to bring it back to the simmer. Let it cook until it gets to the consistency of gravy that you want. I left mine a little bit runnier than if I was serving it immediately because I'm assuming it's going to set up in the fridge. So that is as thick as I want to get it. So all that's left to do now is to take it over and put it on top of our scrambled eggs. Now it's just a matter of eyeballing. You can weigh and measure if you want to. I just chose not to. The 6 servings, the original recipe says it's 8 servings, but I decided to make it bigger and just do 6 servings. And here's what they all look like covered in the gravy. I'm ready to jump in because I tasted it and it's really, really flavorful. Next up is the Whopper Salad. This is so straightforward. You start with a bowl full of lettuce. I used a whole pack of the green leaf lettuce and just cut it into fourths. I don't know, it may be more than last time, but I think that looks like a good amount of lettuce. And then onions to taste. I kind of sliced them and chopped them a little bit bigger. It come out to half of an onion. Then 4 mini dill pickles. Use whatever kind you have, but I'm using 1 mini dill pickle per salad. You could use the chips already if you wanted to, or the big dill pickle sliced down, just whatever kind you want, and how much ever you want of it. You might get extra pickles on your Whopper. And then a tomato. I wasn't feeling very tomato-ish today, so I just divided 1 tomato in for all 4 salads. For the dressing, use your favorite mayonnaise, which you know mine is Duke's, 8 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, and since this is low carb, I'm going no sugar added. Do not be tempted to add anything else because then you're going from Whopper to Big Mac or something with a special sauce, and that is not what this recipe, this salad is about. You just want the Whopper taste of the mayonnaise and the ketchup. Now we're going to divide these in, these are just little applesauce cups that I save, and they come in very handy in bento boxes, and you'll see this in salads. So we're just going to divide it evenly. Again, you can weigh and measure if you want to, but I'm just eyeballing it into 4 servings. I think it comes out to a little over 2 tablespoons because there's 10 tablespoons in the whole batch. Now what I'm doing is, to save space in the refrigerator, I'm just nestling that down in the side of the salad. That way you don't have to worry about knocking them over or taking up extra room. All right, coming up, we're going to see everything we did today. And I'm going to tell you, it only took me less than, it was close to 1.5 hours. And that was start to finish, not setting anything up and then recording. It's recording, cleaning as I go, the whole 9 yards. So we had the breakfast casserole, which you saw, the low-carb sausage bowls. Now here's the star of the Whopper salad. These are the burgers that we grilled outside. If you can't grill them, I might would add some liquid smoke to the meat because you want to try to get some of that flame broiled taste. And so that is what I'm having this week, along with Roy's pumpkin pie. I hope maybe if you try these, let me know if you like them. I think they turned out really, really good. I hope you have a good week. Go prep something. Anything. Okay. I'll see you in my next video.